on to Duce Robinson. Yeah, it looks this one is taking a turn since the beginning of the week. We kind of came into, Sunday, even Monday, thinking that this was going to be a situation where he was going to sign on Wednesday. And then pretty much over the course of, let's say, Monday afternoon, Monday evening, you started to hear the news that maybe he was reconsidering that. By Tuesday, it was a done deal that he wasn't going to. And so kind of here we are. USC has climbed back into this thing and feels like a real contender as well. But I do think that really this is a two-way battle. Georgia's fighting with Major League Baseball when it comes to Duce Robinson.
MLB tampering.
Don
Coppola over here.
Well, they're fighting with that, and they're fighting for fighting with Duce Robinson's production as a senior in high school.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously, I mean, he's got to go out there and have a really incredible senior season. Georgia fans are hoping for maybe a good, cool, 1 for 28 to start the season or something. Just get this thing go, or maybe a 1 for 28 to end the season.
Yeah, he needs a slump.
Todd Hartley's going to be in the outfield just heckling him.
Yeah, I think it's I do. I think it's Major League Baseball versus Georgia for Duce Robinson's services. And look, I get it, because I think the message the kid is sending is probably the right one. And there's only a certain amount of guys that can do this, right? I mean, not everybody is an Under Armour All-American in 2 sports. I think there were 2 guys that were listed. Kyler Murray, I know, was one. Who was the other one? Anyway, there was 2 guys. That we knew of.
I know who it is, and I'm just blanking on it.
I'm sorry, Kyler Murray and
AJ Brown is the other one.
AJ Brown. I was going to say, was it Jameis Winston, but it was AJ Brown.
No, it was AJ Brown and Kyler Murray, 2 both Under Armour All-Americans in both sports. Duce has the opportunity, perhaps if his senior year in baseball goes the way that he hopes it does, to find himself high in the draft. What's not going to sit well with MLB teams if they want to make an investment in an early round is if he's already inked paperwork and is focused on the college football level. So he's kind of hedging his bet on himself. And the reality is he doesn't have to sign any paperwork. He doesn't have to do anything. I mean, he'll do financial aid agreements or whatever, and then he can just show up in June if that's the route that he chooses. It's like the Roquan Smith situation in those regards. But, this is, I don't know. It makes – I know it's not what people want necessarily, but I think that it is still a battle. I think Georgia's still the landing spot, assuming he chooses college football, which is the best thing that you can hope for, right? I mean, it's not like you're being usurped, I think, by another team. The real consideration, though, is how does that senior year pan out? We'll see. Ro, I know you've spoken to some people about his prospects as an MLB guy. Jonathan Taylor asking, does the Walker Lions commit to USC a good sign that we get Duce? I think that it doesn't hurt your chances. I'll tell you that. I think they were hedging their bets as well. So, again,
but I think Walker Lions is not a this year guy.
Exactly, which is also
he's going to do a 1-year mission, from what I've heard. And just to kind of interject there real quick, Roos, like Duce Robinson is the kind of guy that you never know about these high school kids. They can be really good, really good, really good. And then he could show up and kind of start doing some things that he hadn't done earlier in his career. And then he could find himself like a top 3 pick in the draft with just a transcendent senior season with a great, because he's got a big time arm. He runs well, extremely well, no doubt about it. He's 6'6". He's got kind of an Aaron Judge quality to him. I don't know if he can rake like Aaron Judge, but he can, obviously he's a really big time prospect, massive, really good athlete, can cover a lot of ground, be a plus defender in the outfield. It's tough. It's tough. But here's the thing is like Roos was saying, if you're signed with a school, the communication changes. Like they can communicate with you that they normally can't. They can host you for things. This is the age of NIL. You can't tell me that Georgia, if it is legal to get him on campus and know that he's fighting against baseball, isn't just raising all sorts of cash for him and getting it to him every legal way it possibly can to fly him out to come see Georgia and spend the weekend with players and coaches and try to get a girlfriend and everything else. I mean, that's the way this game works. they want him to be attached to Georgia. So I think the Robinsons are doing a very savvy move, one that I would hope that if my son was in the same situation, I would have the Richard Williams, gonads to make it happen. Because, that's staring it in the face, not taking bird in the hand right there. And kudos to them, because at the end of the day, this is baseball, and there's a 1 in, 1,500 chance, maybe even less than that, maybe 1 in, 5,000 chance that he's going to have a life-changing injury playing that sport. So I think, especially at the high school level. So I think, like Ruth said, he's betting on himself, and 6'6", 225, runs like a deer. Who can
blame him? I mean, really, that's the thing. At the end of the day, listen, and I get it too, from the idea of he's a senior in high school, right? He's got kind of these opportunities just don't come around like this. I mean, that's the reality of the situation.
And Ro, you said he's got a chance to go, super high in the MLB draft. That's made a lot more possible by a team knowing that they have to blow him away to get him to play baseball for them. I mean, if he's taken, and a first-round pick is a first-round pick in the MLB, there's lots of money that goes into all those guys. But, if he's taken top 10, the money that comes along with that's a really enticing offer. I mean,
but you're also playing chicken with the schools, because you're sitting there, USC, Georgia, Texas. Somebody going to get impatient and do something crazy?
No, they could. They will.
Yeah, somebody going to do something crazy and get a collective on the hook for $8 million.
Oh boy.
Well, and I guess that's where the decision to not sign today goes both ways. It can help him, but by a team, knowing that they have to blow him away, they really have to wow him with an offer. They have to wow him with their draft position, but also a team knowing that, hey, maybe we don't take this guy because he's still flirting with the possibility of not even coming to play baseball.
Listen, man,
like Tim McGraw said, man, how bad do you want it?
I got to say something here. I got to borrow a phrase from The Wire. My man Bodie says it in The Wire. That look on that look of Duce Robinson's face right there is the look of a man that has the world by the ass.
Oh yeah,
because he is sitting there thinking, "Hey,
off camera, he's just holding both cheeks.
I don't got a sign, and they're gonna chase me. They're just gonna chase me down for my football ability. And maybe I have a great senior season of baseball. Maybe I don't. If I don't, I'll just go play this football game and probably make, at the bare minimum, $75,000, $80,000 to $100,000 a year. Or, I can make, and then with a very good chance to make $20, $30, $40 million by the time you're 26, 27 years old. Or you'll get blown away. You'll have a great senior season of baseball. Maybe you get them in a bidding war in the process. There's just no telling when it's going to rain cash on Duce Robinson. And
it's a win-win.
He's at Harry right now, just pulling that slot machine.
The forecast is cash heavy. That's all it is. That's all we know. It's not a matter of when the cash rains. It's not a matter of if, it's when the cash rains.
Yeah, he's betting on himself with house money. Is what he's doing. He's betting on himself. Listen, I've bet on myself before, and I'm shaped like a bar of Dove soap. Okay, that dude right there is 6'6", 225 pounds of just raw athlete. So, going to be a rich man. Good for Duce Robinson.
Yeah, and listen, I think that somebody asked, what will schools do? They're going to wait around on Duce Robinson. I promise you. Anything, it doesn't matter. Nobody's upset with Duce Robinson for taking his time. Of course, they would love for him to be in, but I promise you, nobody has said a crossword to Duce Robinson about this decision. They will patiently wait for him in any facet to get him on there. I mean, and as you said, Ro, too, I think that it doesn't happen a lot. But I think that he is a kid who really will try to go to sport in college if he goes the college route. And then you have the opportunity perhaps to increase your draft stock in that regard. Maybe you continue to grow your game and show some stuff to some more scouts. there's a lot of unknown in this, but what we do know is that Duce Robinson not going to sign right now. But like I said, I still think Georgia, the team to beat if he chooses college football.
Duce Robinson could get one of those paper Burger King crowns, wear it everywhere he goes, and demand people call him your grace, and they would all do it.
No question.
No doubts.
That's what they do in the recruiting photos.
Yeah.
I know it's apples and oranges to compare baseball to football because in one sport you are literally wearing pajamas. But if there's one thing I think that Georgia has an advantage on, and it's interesting, I hadn't thought about it this way until this show just now. You guys are just inspiring and sparking some really deep thoughts between these ears. Georgia's got something going on at the tight end position right now that they kind of do at running back, where you are just saving these guys body blows just by sheer depth and with the talent that you're able to pile up. And I know tight end's a little bit different than the running back position, but at least if they want to sell a little bit of something that sets them apart and differentiates them from USC and Texas on the football front, it's, hey, at least you don't have to carry this entire team's tight end hopes on your shoulders.
Not only that, they'll put you to work in a very efficient way and highlight you.